Powered by the Montana Television Network. This is the 530 News on Q2, Montana's news leader.
Good evening and thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Jay Cohn.
And I'm Jeanelle Slade. A longtime Miles City athletic trainer accused in a sophisticated system of sexual abuse arrested at his home in Miles City today.
However, not for the charges in the sex abuse case, instead for a series of other crimes. The Montana Department of Justice releasing new information in this case that rocked the town of Miles City this past fall. 78-year-old James Jensen now faces 10 counts of sexual abuse of children for pictures seized on his home computer.
Now, Jensen is behind bars for those charges, but also faces a civil suit filed by 19 male victims who say when they attended Custer County High School decades ago, Jensen sexually abused them for years.
This investigation started in September after the Custer County attorney became aware of the allegations from media reports. Jensen was a trainer at the Miles City Unified School District beginning in the 1970s. Numerous victims came forward with sexual abuse allegations, which happened at the school and at Jensen's homes.
However, the alleged abuse took place outside the statute of limitations. Therefore, Jensen could not face prosecution. Court documents state Miles City Police received information about child pornography on Jensen's home computer found by a housekeeper at his retirement home. Then
in the beginning of October, police obtained a search warrant and confiscated Jensen's computer and a tablet. Investigators say they found pictures of nude boys engaged in sex acts on those devices. Jensen's bail now set at $100,000.
He is set to appear in Custer County District Court on December 21st.
In other news tonight, the Crow Tribe's largest water system testing positive for fecal matter this past spring, and 2 other systems on the reservation have been found to be out of compliance with federal law.
Earlier this year, the Crow Agency water system, which serves 1,300 residents, tested positive for E. coli. Back in October 2017, one of the system's 2 water treatment plants was vandalized, including serious damage to chlorine containers and the chlorine system.
The EPA also says the water systems for Pryor and Wyola have not been properly monitored for contamination. For both systems, multiple deficiencies from 2017 had not been fixed, and no chlorine was present in the most recent May report. According to the EPA, Q2, by the way, has left a message for Crow officials. We're still waiting for a response.
Earlier this week, 44 former U.S. senators signed an open letter in the Washington Post. It calls on current senators to forego partisanship if faced with questions about the president's past actions. Former Montana Senator Max Baucus is one of those signees. He tells MTN former Connecticut Senator Christopher Dodd organized the writing and signing. The letter noted that Special Counsel Robert Mueller's investigation of President Trump and his campaign is about to conclude. It also said when the nation faces a crisis, the rule of law must be upheld regardless of partisanship. Baucus says the letter, signed by 10 Republicans, including former Wyoming Senator Alan Simpson, and 34 Democrats, is not meant to be partisan. However, Baucus says he thinks the message is probably directed toward Republicans in the Senate.
The point of the letter, at least for me, is to help stiffen the spines of senators, especially Republican senators, help them remember why they're there. And they swore an oath of office to the Constitution, not to their party or to their president. It's my belief, frankly, that if a senator, in this case, especially a Republican senator, is faced with a choice between what he or she thinks is right on one hand and allegiance to the president on the other, that that's not a very difficult choice to make.
You can see the bitterness that goes on. You see the fact that so-and-so, if they're a Democrat, you just ignore them, or if they're a Republican, you ignore them.
Now, Baucus retired from the Senate in early 2014 after 35 years as senator from Montana. Simpson retired from the Senate in 1996 after 18 years in the Senate.
A big day for women across Montana as St. Vincent Healthcare unveils a state-of-the-art mammography bus. The new bus, equipped with 3D imaging to give women in the Billings area and other rural communities breast cancer exams. Take a look as the first bus was smudged in a spiritual cleanse, then a pink ribbon cut today. The new 3D mammography imaging finds invasive cancers 40% more frequently than the old technology. Those with St. V say the services already provided on the mobile mammography bus have saved hundreds of lives through early breast cancer detection.
With that goal in mind, this year we worked very hard with the St. Vincent Foundation and with Dennis Sulzer and a lot of A lot of hard work was put into this beautiful pink beast.
St. Vincent offers one of 2 mobile mammography programs in Montana. The other one operates in the Kalispell area.
In Great Falls, a man who hit rock bottom decided to hand out free haircuts to kids in the park.
Victor Padilla is sharing his experience of his rough past and how he is now turning his life around. MTN's Elizabeth Transu brings us his story tonight.
Any time wasted is time that you can never get back. And if you're not constantly improving, you're slowly getting worse.
Wise words to live by.
Every day I wake up with the mindset, as long as I'm better than I was yesterday, as long as I was better than the day before, I'll eventually be great.
And even wiser if you knew the guy behind them. Victor Padilla comes from a military family. He tells me he wasn't raised this way, but he found himself in some uneasy situations that put him behind bars for 4 years.
The hardest part about it was that I let the streets suck me in.
Victor's not letting that prison sentence define the rest of his life.
Me having so many people look up to me, I need somebody to look up to, and the recidivism rate of people going back to prison is over 90% because they don't have nobody to look up to.
He's beating the odds.
The worst has already happened to me. I've already been to prison. I've already lost my child. Anything else is better than what it used to be. I'm free, I get to drink coffee, get to do something that I love, get to meet new people.
Victor's enrolled at the Montana Academy of Salons, currently a level 3 barber. He says putting clippers in his hands and finding something he loves to do saved his life.
Honestly, it's just where I feel at home. I can be me. That's a huge thing. And the huge thing for ex-convicts, convicts getting out of prison is they can't get a job, they can't do certain things. And the difference between me and them is I wouldn't allow those expectations to be put on me.
Victor will graduate on February 16th, 1 year to the day of being released from prison. His dream is to open his own barbershop.
I'm sorry to the people that I hurt along the way, but the best apology ever is coming back the way that I did.
In Great Falls, Elizabeth Transu, MTN News.
Thanks, Elizabeth. Victor, by the way, says legally he really can't give free haircuts to kids anymore.
But the Montana Academy of Salons has a Cut It Forward program that gives clients the opportunity to pay for someone else's haircut.
Well, today, children at Billings Clinic got a special surprise.
Keeping with a tradition that has spanned many holiday seasons, Rimrock Mall and Billings Clinic came together and brought Santa to the hospital a little early this Christmas. Santa took time to visit patients in the pediatric unit and surprise them with a special gift. Now, the kids even got to tell Santa what's on their wish list.
And after his time in the pediatric unit, Santa was able to stroll the halls and spread holiday cheer amongst all the visitors. His last stop, surprising kids and families in the waiting room with hugs and smiles for all.
Coming up on tonight's 5:30 News, brick by brick, this Billings kid is building a great collection.
We'll check out how all the pieces connect right after this break.
Hi everybody, Scott Breen at the National Finals Rodeo here in Las Vegas. Coming up in sports, which Montana Cowboy is suddenly #1 in the world, and what J.R. Vizane's colleagues are saying about him, while the Melstone bareback rider just hopes to walk again.
And coming up in weather, the high winds the last few days be blowing in some warmer temperatures. In fact, we could be looking at some 50s over the next few days. We'll tell you all about it coming up in a few more minutes.
You're watching MTN News with Jay Cohn and Jeanelle Slade. Storm Tracker weather with Bob McGuire. And sports with Scott Breen. This is the 5:30 News on Q2, Montana's news leader.